I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can call for the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on, smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Pepper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real.
Well, they say an early season snowstorm may be on deck in less than 48 hours, but today is picture-perfect fall football weather. Crisp and cool at Soldier Field in the Windy City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Chicago Bears. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Trubisky on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Grady Jarrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
Bears first down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
He's moving, boys, he's moving. Move.
From the shotgun is Trubisky, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is, when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Ryan. Got his man. That's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Ready, blue 80, back 25. 20. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
2nd and 10. It's Trubisky again. Completes it to Miller. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5. Up to the 25-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Alert. Hey, high 7.
Trubisky to throw again. This one into the hands of Burton. Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Trey Burton with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability, as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Let's go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoff.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, Will.
He'll look to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
Check safety. Switch. Check. Ran, touch. 45. Mike.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down and 4, Trubisky. Robinson's got it. And some room to roam now. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Now on 2nd and 13, Trubisky nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long.
Lock in. Mike 27. Right.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, you know, that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Mike 27.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Ready, break.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 16-yard line.
Ready.
Check 45 to Mike. Right to run. Shift. He's checking.
Ready.
2nd and 11. And he finds his tight end, Graham. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Jones breaking from the contact. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, 1st down Falcons. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They run. Devontae Freeman. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. Trubisky now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
Hey, ball. Go.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang at Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking deep for Julio. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. They'll drop the throw. It's caught. Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
This a quick pass to Davis. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple.
Back. Motion. Alert.
Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky. He's got Burton here. 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards.
Come on, 180.
27. Here we go. Slam.
18.
Mike 27.
Blue.
Check pass. Hey, check Mike 27.
Hey, Alpha.
Keep it up. Mike 27.
Throwing on second down. Trubisky. It's complete. It's Miller. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining.
It's just me and you. 51's the mic. Oh, yeah.
Again, it's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Duke Riley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players than football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Elsewhere on the NFL scoreboard in Dallas. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On the return is Cohen. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude.
Touchdown, Chicago! Allen Robinson. His 4th touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Give him 3 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
It's now 4th down.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position.
Hey, let's go. Calm the crowd. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. But now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Trubisky to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Burton. 16 yards is the pickup there on a first down for Chicago.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Check my orbit.
On first down, Trubisky. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky as the Bears push further out in front. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This one caught by Ridley. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Check, X3, 218, chop.
From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking downfield for Jones. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Just a 30-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Trubisky now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. First down, a run with Cohen. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Cohen. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
It's 3rd down and 6.
So 3rd down, and the Falcons going with a dime. 6 defensive backs. Out of the gun, Trubisky. The catch made by Miller. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 30. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On first down, it's Cohen, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now at Soldier Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
You.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He sets to fire deep. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Check. Alert.
Trubisky will throw. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
Bears 28, Falcons nothing. Pat O'Donnell to kick off for Chicago.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 31 yards there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Smith. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Rupp. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, 42 yards as the Bears push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
Here we go. 10-2 stop.
It's out of time. It's out of time.
Hey, foxtrot. Let's go.
They're going to look to throw. Looking deep for Julio. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
On third down, a run with Cohen. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Now a desperation throw deep down. And got his man complete. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Check 45. Hey, exit. Check 45 to Mike. Say go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. He'll look to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on third.
Could play an exotic coverage.
He's coming. Double up.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And they'll indeed take a knee.
A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you